Hi guys, so we're going to look at this topic called sequences. Now we're going to concentrate on the paper 1 type of questions that would come. I want you to take note that this topic comes in both paper 1 and paper 2, but for now we will only concentrate on the type of questions that come in paper 1. So to understand sequences, you should understand that you will be tested on two types of sequences. The first one is called an arithmetic progression, denoted as AP. Now, this arithmetic progression, it has what we call a common difference. I'll give you an example. For instance, if we have a sequence of the following manner, which is A, B, C, and you notice that, so where we know that A is the first term, we can call it T1, and B is the second term, we can call it T2, and C is the third term, we can call it T3. So if we say the second term, which is T2, subtract the first term, if this result is the same as the third term subtract the second term, therefore this qualifies to be an AP. So it has what we call a common difference. Another type of sequence you should be familiar with is what we call a GP, or rather a geometric progression. Now this geometric progression, it has what we call a common ratio. For instance, if we have A, B, C, knowing that this is the first term, second term, and third term. So if we say the second term divided by the first term, this result, if it is the same as the third term divided by the second term, if this is the same, then this qualifies to be a geometric progression. Now, let us look at exam type of questions, and we see how best we can answer the questions. Alright, so we'll start with the first one. For the sequence 25, 22, 19, 16, dash dash dash, find a formula for the nth term. Now, before you can find anything, first find out the type of a sequence it is. We start with checking if it is an AP. How are we going to do that? So we're going to do this. We know to say we've got some terms in here. So I'll say I've got term number 1 here, I've got term number 2 here, I've got term number 3 here, I've got term number 4 there. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to test. So let me test from here. I want to test the type of a sequence that it is. So if I say term number 2, which is 22, subtract term number 1, which is 25, what am I getting? 22 minus 25, I'm getting a negative 3. Then if I say term number 3, subtract term number 2, this would be term number 3 is 19, then term number 2 is 22. What is 19 subtract 22? We get negative 3. Now that we are seeing these are the same, this qualifies to be what we call an arithmetic progression. So it qualifies to be an AP. Now, what we're going to do now, therefore, is since we know that it's an AP, because an AP has got its own formulas and a GP has got its own formulas. Now we know that it's an AP, we're going to solve it using the formulas of an AP. So how do we find the nth term? To find the nth term, this is the formula you use. So we're finding for part A, we say term number n for an AP is equal to A to mean first term plus n minus 1, then D to mean common difference. So I'll start. Term number n is equal to A, which is the first term. If you check here, term number 1 is 25. So the first term is 25 plus n. We're just looking for the nth term, so we'll leave it the way it is. So n minus 1. Then what is the common difference? Remember, we found the common difference to be negative 3. Then from there we'll just simplify. So we'll say Tn is equal to 25. Then the negative 3, we have a negative 3 here, it will multiply n. So meaning this will no longer be negative. So let me just let me do that. So I'll say that will be, so let me say plus, then open bracket, n times negative 3, negative 3n, then negative 3 times negative 1, it will be positive 3, like that. Then now I can get rid of the brackets. I can say term number n is equal to 25, then positive times negative, it will be negative 3n, positive times positive, it will be positive 3. Then I can add the 25 to the 3, so at the final I can say term number n, 25 plus 3, I'm doing like terms here, 25 plus 3 is 28, then it will be minus 3n. Now here we understand to say 28 and minus 3n are not like terms, therefore we're just going to leave it here. So this is the formula for the nth term. Now that this has been solved, we proceed to look at part B, which is to find the sum of the first 20 terms. How do we find the sum? We need to use a formula. So to find the sum of any terms, the formula is as follows. So we say n over 2, then square brackets 2a plus n minus 1d closed square brackets. So that's the formula that we use. So now here we're looking for the sum of the first 20 terms. So I'll say sum, where there is n, now I'll be replacing with 20. So I'll say 20 over 2. So here you know it's 20 over 2. Then here it will be 2 times a, where the first term is 25. So it will be 2 multiplied by 25. Then I'll say plus. Our n, we know n is 20, so this will be 20 minus 1. Then our d, the common difference was negative 3, like that. Then what remains now is a matter of simplifying. How do we simplify that? So we know to say 2 into 20, that is 10. Then we're going to simplify by saying what is 2 times 25, that is a 50. Then we're going to say what is 20 minus 1, 20 minus 1 is 19. Then that 19 we multiply it with negative 3. Now if you say 19 times negative 3, we get negative 57. You can try that and see what you're going to find. But when you say 19 multiplied by negative 3, we're supposed to get negative 57. So now it's the one that I'm coming to write here. So I'm going to say negative 57 there. Then I need to subtract the 50, should subtract the negative 57 that I've found, so that I see what I'm going to find. So what will be 50 minus 57? So 50 minus 57, we get negative 7. Oh, it wasn't writing, sorry. So here we have negative 57, like I said. Then now we are saying what is so this will be equal to 10 open bracket. We said 50 minus 57, it's negative 7, and 10 times negative 7, we get negative 70. So we are simply saying if you get the first 20 terms and you add them up, we are going to get negative 70. So negative 70 is the final answer we are getting for this. Hope you are able to follow. So we proceed, we look at a different question. Question 2, there we have, for the sequence 11, 13, 15, 17, dash, 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 right, find the 13th term. How can you find term number 13? So first things first, let's test the type of sequence it is. So how are we going to test? We can say this is our first term, second term, third term, fourth term. So if I say what is 13 minus, what is the difference between this? 13 minus 11, so that is a 2. If I say 15 minus 13, that is a 2. 17 minus 15, that's a 2. So these have got a common difference, therefore they qualify to be called an arithmetic key progression. So an arithmetic progression has got the following formula to find for any term. Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 then d. So we're looking for term number what? Term number 13 here, 13th term. So what that is, n we will replace and put 13. Then the first term, which is a, is 11 plus what is n? N is the term you're looking for, 13 minus 1. Common difference is 2. So this will be equal to 11 then plus what is 13 minus 1, that is 12. And when we say 12 times 2, we get 24. So now what is 11 plus 24? 11 plus 24, we get 35. So therefore term number 13 is equal to 35. So this one has been dealt with. We go to part B. If the arithmetic mean of 5 and C is 11, what is the value of C? Now what do we mean by arithmetic mean? So mean simply means average. So if you are to find the average of two numbers, what you do is you just add those two numbers, 5 plus C, then you divide by how many they are. So there are 2, I'll divide by 2. Now they are saying after you do that, the answer you should get is 11. That's what the question is saying. So you should be able to interpret words to give you an equation. So from there, how do we find the value of C? So I'm going to say over 1 and I cross multiply. So 5 plus C times 1, this will maintain 5 plus C. Then 2 times 11, this will be 22. Then 5 will cross the equal sign, this will be C is equal to, it will be minus, so it will be 22 minus 5. Then the value of C will be equal to, what is 22 minus 5? 22 minus 5, we get 17. So that's the value of C. So that's basically how you can do this. We look at a different question. So let's look at question 3 so that we can cement our understanding. Question 3 reads, the first 3 terms of an arithmetic progression are, so the good part of this question is that they've already told us to say this type of sequence we are looking at is an arithmetic progression, so no need of testing it. Right, so find the common difference. So how do you find the common difference? So to find the common difference, so I'll say CD common difference is equal to term number 2 subtract term number 1. Then our term number 2 there is 7, term number 1 is 5. 7 minus 5 is what? Is 2. So therefore our common difference is 2. Part B, sum of the first 12 terms. Now remember, the formula that we use for sum of the n terms for an AP is the following: n over 2, then you open 2a, then plus n minus 1 d, then you close. So we're looking for sum of the first 12 terms. So where n is 12, so this would be 12 over 2, then like that, 2a. Now a is the first term. If you check in here, the first term is 5. So this will be 2 multiplied by 5 plus the n is 12 minus 1. The common difference is 2. So when you simplify that, what are we getting? 2 into 12, that is a 6. Then 2 times 5, that is a 10. 12 minus 1, that is 11. 11 times 2, that is 22. Then what do we get? So this will be equal to 6, open brackets. 10 plus 22 is what? 32. Then when we say 6 multiplied by 32, we get 192. So 192. So this is the sum of the first 12 terms. So sum of the first 12 terms. So that's what we are getting. So that's basically how you can do that. So in most cases, paper 1, they always bring the arithmetic progression. Then in paper 2, that's when they can bring either the arithmetic progression or the geometric progression. So you should also be familiar how to solve using a geometric progression. And very soon I'm going to drop another video that will also include the GP, but for now we'll end here. And as usual, I'm going to leave you with some work that you can try. So try out the following questions. So hopefully you'll be able to see. So you try out these questions and see how you can go about this. Thank you.